Wario started as an out-of-nowhere antagonist for Mario in Super Mario Land 2, but he became an equally beloved figure, starring in numerous games that split along a few different genres. While he may not have quite as many games to his name as Super Mario, he does have his own fair share of titles. And on that note, we thought that we would take a look at the top 10 best Wario games to have ever been released. But just before we do go into the video, if you do like this type of content and you would like to see some more top 10 videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. And with all that said, let's just get straight into it. These are the top 10 best Wario games to have ever been released of all time. Number 10. Wario Land Shakeit. Wario Land Shakeit sees its protagonist once again in the search of riches, this time requesting for an endless sack of coins. Its main gimmick is hinted by its name, as Wario picks up and shakes enemies to acquire items, and can throw them as well. While the controls were slightly different from its gimmicky nature, the game delivers all the fun fans expect from a Wario game, as well as familiar core mechanics. Collect as many coins as possible, clear levels by upgrades, and relish the feeling of greed. Number 9. Warioware Twisted. The Warioware series made its mark as soon as it was released by being a collection of minigames that players had to figure out and successfully navigate, possibly being inspired by Mario Party's short minigames. Warioware Twisted was the first sequel, and it introduced a gimmick in the form of rotation sensor within the cartridge. While fans have criticized Nintendo's resilience on gimmicks in the consoles over the years, the Warioware series makes good use of them, and this first outing demonstrates it. It required a physical cartridge to play, but the need for quick reactions beyond just pressing buttons made it memorable and fun. Number 8. Wario Land 4. A solid title that changed some of the element's predecessors, like adding a health bar, Wario Land 4 is still a diverse and entertaining experience for fans. Similar to its predecessors, the game featured 4 main routes to conquer, followed by a final level, puzzles to solve, and platforming to manage across a number of levels. Although it does little to deviate from the series formula, the formula was solid and enjoyable. Number 7. Warioware DIY. Warioware DIY experiments by giving players the tools to build custom tiny games, and using the basic architecture of WarioWare's traditional weirdness for everyone to enjoy. The game itself was pretty solid, but also relied somewhat on being able to share creations online with other fans, which makes the game a little bit more limited. Fortunately, its core of gameplay loop is still fun and memorable, like most of the franchise. Number 6. Warioware Get It Together. Warioware Get It Together uses a twist on the usual formula by giving players control to a variety of different characters to clear minigames. This roster of characters can make some of the minigames much easier and some much harder while always keeping things entertaining. Combined with the addition of couch multiplayer, the title is a solid inheritor to the series and shows just how far the basic WarioWare formula can still be pushed. Add in unlockable customizations over time, and there's even more reason to keep playing this game. Number 5. Wario Land 2. In many ways, Wario Land 2 could still be considered one of the first puzzle platformers in the genre of puzzle games. Here, Wario has no health bar to contend with, just stages filled with obstacles that he must overcome through power-ups and being affected by enemies' attacks along the way. While the gameplay was a notable departure from its immediate predecessor, Wario Land 2 established a gameplay formula and a new approach to the characters in general, and overall, its historical impact and solid gameplay helps to make it a classic. Number 4. Wario Land Super Mario Land 3. One might not expect the villain of a game to star in that game's direct sequel, but that's exactly what happened with the release of Wario Land Super Mario Land 3. The endpoint of Super Mario Land sub-series and the start of Wario Land as a series, this title is much closer to the traditional Mario title, but with twists to make it unique such as Wario's varied hats and his ability to change and throw opponents freely. Number 3. Warioware Inc. Mega Micro Games. The Warioware series has numerous excellent entries, but the original title is still one of the finest entries, and there's a good reason why the later entries keep revisiting some of its minigames. Without hardware or control gimmicks, each game had to find its own way to be distinctive and quickly understood. Fans of the series who have never played the original will find it just as vital as later installments, and just as prone to sudden surprises and laughter. Number 2, Wario Land 3. Considered even today to be one of the best games on the Game Boy Color, Wario Land 3 is easily the highlight of the characters' side-scrolling adventures and their general gameplay. There's no health bar to be monitored, just a series of escalating challenges to make it through stages and the ever-present allure of collecting as many coins as possible. Every feature that was on display in Wario Land 2 was amplified and improved on for this title, producing a memorable experience that established Wario as a platform and video game mascot in his own right, rather than simply being the shadow of Super Mario. While far from his biggest hit, it remains one of his finest games. Number 1, Warioware Smooth Moves. Some games made excellent use of the Wii's motion controls and varied control styles, and Warioware Smooth Moves was among some of the best, bringing with it not only an assortment of minigames, but an equally wide assortment of ways to use the Wii Remote. The game was memorable for that alone. Beneath the gimmicky character, however, lies a game every bit as innovative as other entries in the franchise, and with an added new set of controls to play with. Its control scheme makes it difficult to port anywhere other than the Wii, but it was an outstanding game for that platform. And so there you pretty much have it. Those were our top 10 best Wario games to have ever been released. So what did you think of this top 10? Do you agree with this list? Or perhaps that you feel that there was a different order that they should have been placed in? If so, do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. And of course, not forgetting that if you do like this type of content and you would like to see some more top 10 videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. I'll also leave some more top 10 videos at the end of this one if you would like to check them out. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you all next time.